Good morning. It is 8:30. We're here for a central services update with Tom Gaines.
Tom's gone, isn't he? Is it an echo or?
Oh, that is.
Just looking to see.
Or did he get back?
I was just looking to see when their out of state travel thing is. Barb's gonna give him a call real quick and see. Yeah, it says days of travel are the 9th through the 15th, so he's probably not.
Okay, so Tom is not here, so we will go ahead and cancel this meeting at 8:31. Good morning. It is 9 o'clock. We are here with Jim Nelson Cook for the Development Services Update.
Good morning, Commissioners. Happy Monday.
Morning.
Yes, here to provide the board an update for financial and permit statistics for the month of June for development services. Listed on page 1, you'll see the total submitted building permits for the month of June. So incoming was 55, outgoing was 42, submitted by portal 37, submitted or in office was 18, again, for the total of 55. So we continue to put emphasis on going electronic and trying to push people towards that portal. As we've talked about in the last couple of updates, if you submit by portal and create that account, it opens you up to a number of additional benefits. A lot of those are now being able to file for or request inspections electronically and then receive your corrections electronically as well and be able to track those. So it's pretty cool that way. So fire marshal permits submitted incoming 12, outgoing 14, 11 by the portal, and 1 coming by way of the counter in office. Construction, fire marshal construction, 4 permits, operational 8. Those 8 are the transient residences. On the planning side, I won't go through and list every one of them. You can see total for the month in planning is 45. Planning continues to set records this year, both for permit intake and also revenue. Revenue for the building side, year-to-date total right now is $618,000. We're trending off of last year. Last year was an exceptional year, probably one that'll be hard to beat. However, I'll point out that the $618,000 through June is the second highest total compared to 2021 at $713,000, but $618,000 is the second highest since we've been tracking since 2009. So.
Did we have something really large last year?
Yeah, we had 3 things that are that were exceptional last year. We had the jail, and then we had the Simplot facility that we can see from Mars. That was the 2 big drivers. But coming around the corner, thanks to some heavy lifting and work by the board, last week we put a stake in the ground in and around those developer agreements for solar. So we're going to have 2 solar application and permit issue, 2 permits that we're going to issue for solar here in the coming, hopefully, weeks, which is going to skyrocket that number. Probably still not at the 2024 clip, but you're going to see a significant, probably almost double what we're sitting at right now. So it's going to be a good year. On the second page, planning numbers. Like I said, we're going to set a record this year. We're sitting at $135,000 year to date through June of last year, and I thought last year was busy. Through June of last year, we were at $117,000. And I'll point out, if you look at the 2024 totals, for June of last year, planning collected $29,152. That was during the comp plan month. where we had 18 comp plan applications, which is really what's established that number for 2024 in planning. This year, we had 12 comp plan applications. Several of them were county applications, and still we were well above last year's number at 135,000. So the planning department is continuing to be crushed. So we're looking forward to some help in that regard. So, any questions on permit statistics for development services in June?
Still working well with the health district?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yep, still continuing to work well with Health District. We do have an open position, Public Works has an open position for an engineering review technician. Now, that technician, as you well know, is a position that resides inside of our office. They do have a backup person in the office right now while they wait to do interviews to backfill that vacant position.
Mhm.
So there's been no hiccups, to that end, but we are looking forward to filling that with somebody that is qualified to do those plan reviews and assist my planners with the public works side of the review that they do. So we still have the 4 of the 5 agencies within the building. So I saw some applicants and applications come through for the backfill of that position. So we'll be doing interviews, I think, this week. And it looks like some good ones. So it'll be exciting. Yeah.
That'll be good.
Yeah. It'll be very good.
Okay.
How's
You
everything
have,
else going?
Good. If we could go into, executive session, I can.
okay, so you'd like to go into executive session for job applicant evaluation, RCW 4230-110-1G. How long do you think you need?
10 minutes. I'll talk fast.
Okay, so we'll go 9:06 to 9:16.
Okay, so
Are we turned off? We're not off.
Hang on.
Yes, it is 9:16. We are going to go back into executive session for another 5 minutes, from 9:16 to 9:21.
So don't turn off your camera. So I'll move you guys backstage. So everyone-
Hey, Rob, are you in attendance?
what do you have for me?
I got a little something for you.
We are out of executive session. There was no decision that was
project.
made. Jim, do you have any more?
I don't have anything else.
This is in regards to short-term rentals.
Okay.
Apparently, we have an issue down at Sunland where
Okay.
you have maybe 20% or 30% who are complying, and
Yeah.
you got 70% that say, oh, Grant County's not gonna do anything about it, so we're just gonna keep doing what we're doing.
Okay.
That's a gal that manages properties down there that feels like, they're doing it the right way.
So,
And she's trying to maybe give us a little help on how we can make
Okay.
our ordinance actually work.
so this is a gal down in Sunland that's managing that feels like Port Angelus's process works better.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had, okay, well, we'll look at this with the fire marshal as well. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I just told him I'd share it with you guys.
We had, so we had a hearings examiner last Wednesday. We had 4 short-term rentals on the docket. One of them was on Edwards Drive in Moses Lake.
Okay, yeah, the trouble one.
The troubled one, yeah. And so we don't have a decision back from them yet, but the neighbors were there in full effect with presentation storyboards, a lot of testimony. We made recommendations for conditions to the hearings examiner and throttled it back pretty good. It's a 5-bedroom home. We made parking recommendations down to 4 total cars. And of course, they have to have 24/7 somebody available to respond to noise. The applicant suggested that that be, his telephone. I don't know that the hearings examiner is going to go for that. So we'll see what happens with that decision, but it's tough. I mean,
Yes, some of that information might be helpful for you guys to maybe put a kibosh on some of this.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll
We'll see.
we'll get a look at it. That was the first one that was the first hearing that was it was about an hour long. So and they had
We
again
have some passionate neighbors.
it's
They're
passionate
tired
neighbors.
of it.
Yeah, so we'll see how that one comes back. And it was a pro tem hearing examiner, so it wasn't our regular hearings examiner. It was a substitute teacher, so to speak. So he had his hands full. So.
Not gonna fill in again. Andy, I'm not doing it again.
Yeah. Andy's trying to retire, and so
Oh, I didn't know that.
he's trying to retire.
Okay.
So this was his son-in-law, who's a criminal defense attorney, who Andy wants him to take over his book of business, and this was his first rodeo. So I don't know. I don't know.
Do it.
Yeah, I don't know how that's
I don't know.
how that's
Maybe
going to
start
end
with a
up.
bang and it could be a little easier.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. It is 9:24. We are in recess until 9:30. We have. Good morning. It is 9:30. We are here for the Commissioner's Office update. Welcome.
Good morning. First thing on the list, as always, is the pending decision spreadsheet. I don't think we made any changes to it in a couple of months.
So is that because it's not making any decisions, or is it just because it's not getting done?
Because they're like outside of our, I thought we did the ADA access to the county museum. We put it in the budget, the Kazan Trail. That would be a Dave Brand question.
I do
Our
not.
7-year road.
What is our 5-year plan to end homelessness? Do we have one?
We're working, so yes, we have one. We're working on updating it. That's with that consultant, LDC Inc. Right now, we're getting ready to launch a community input survey. The goal is to have that published next Monday, the 21st. So we're just waiting on some final responses from the task force, and then I can send it to you guys before it gets published. Rob and I have already looked at it. Pretty straightforward survey.
Okay, next, review of upcoming public hearings. Do we have any on Tuesday? I do not see any, so none this week.
We're done at 3:00 tomorrow?
Yep.
Okay, well, my calendar, I guess I can look at this one. I'm just confirming. Stops that day.
Okay, and review of your weekly meetings. Do you have any questions about your meetings this week?
So the Board of Health training in Ellensburg, that's a 2-day deal? Are we supposed to both go there, or how does that work?
They're just invited us to go, inviting us.
Gotcha.
We're just gonna see who is wanting to go, if both of you, one of you, neither of you. That is not until October.
Yeah, I probably will not go. Teresa is not even going. She's going to the national meeting, her and I think 2 others.
I see.
So if you feel like you need a training on the,
Did they move to calendar invitations already?
Golf course.
Oh, okay. I'm like, where is this at?
Is it worth your while? Maybe not.
well, for me, I feel like they have a good grasp on the food situation. We, as county commissioners, we're over the septic and the water. And I think the shortfall there is that we don't really have anybody on the board that truly understands
Either one.
the septic situation. So we just kind of talk about it around and around. We don't really, if there was an installer or somebody that did septics on the board, they could help educate us a lot better as kind of a neutral party. Kind of the liaison between the homeowner, the installer, and the health district.
Dollars to get on the board.
Yeah, Sponge Designer, she was agreeing to be on the board, and then somebody from the health district talked her out of it. Told her she really didn't want to be on that board, so it's like, well, it's like if you're frustrated with the health district, then please don't talk to me about it, because you could have helped to be the solution.
So if somebody applies to be on the board, it has to be approved by the board member, correct?
Well,
How's that?
I think they make a recommendation, but it's ultimately, again, it's ultimately the county commissioners appoint there. And even all the boards that we have, it is not the actual board members, and this is where you can talk to your other county commissioners, because our board should not be making up their own boards. It's appointed by the county commissioners. So when your boards start making up their own boards, sometimes you don't have a fair representation.
Right.
Wes McCart would be a great one to reach out and talk to if you would get you on. But they do make a recommendation to us. We've had some installers on there, but we haven't
Haven't in a
for
while.
probably 5 years.
What about that Wasatch County Leaders Conference? Have you been to any of those or?
Is that the one in Ellisburg?
This one is in Spokane.
Okay.
Oh, and
There's
yeah,
one.
I usually have maxed out my travel budget by the time it rolls around, so I don't have funding to go. But it is a great leadership tool. It is,
Kevin, that's the same thing you went to last year with me and Tom.
Okay, it's just in Spokane.
Yeah, it's the same thing though.
Yeah, so I may want to go to that then. It was worthwhile. I thought it was,
I think you,
I mean, because I was pretty much green, so I didn't know anything.
and they'll talk about, they have classes on the different things that we're on AI and
Right. So I'll probably want to go to that.
Did you have any questions about any of the meetings this week?
No,
kind of like, I'm just getting back in the groove of things.
head wrapped around everything that's happening. Take a week off.
Okay, we don't have any other questions. Employee appreciation barbecue, it was tentatively scheduled for October 1st. I received an email from the sheriff saying that the Waco conference is that week. So all the elected officials, other than the three of you, usually go to that. So it's probably, we need to start thinking about a different week. He made a recommendation of September 24th or October 15th. Do you want to look at your calendars and see what your thoughts are? Rob, do you have a chance? Can you look at your calendar?
That October 15th date sounds like a bad day. That's during hunt season.
Oh,
That's the middle of the week. I should be all right.
On the 8th, yeah, I think we've had it on the 8th. Okay.
15th is okay with me.
on the 8th, he'll be in Ellensburg all day for a meeting, he says.
Who is Rob?
The sheriff will be,
Oh.
so the sheriff's not available. And I know he's a big part of the
Yep.
barbecue.
So honestly, Rob is a big part of our,
What day is good for you, Rob?
What day is Joey wanting?
the 24th or the,
September 24th or October 15th. He's picking Wednesdays because the board had suggested a Wednesday, so if you wanted to switch it to a different day.
I could probably do the 24th.
Works for me.
Do we by chance, did you look at your calendar for the 24th? Okay. Just for.
September 24th, it doesn't look like there's anything going on that day. I take that back, WCRG Board of Directors
Yeah,
retreat.
I'll be here, I'll just leave early.
So would you like me to send an email out to the other electeds to can see if that date will work, September 24th? Okay. Okay. Boards and committees update, Ms. Caitlin.
So I already kind of talked about the homeless housing 5-year plan. We have an update with the consultant this afternoon. Rob, are you able to log on for that?
Yeah, I'll be on it. Sorry, I'm packing 60-pound boxes at the moment.
Neat. Okay. If you can't make it, I mean, I'll take notes and let you know what.
No, I'll be on. In
Okay.
about 1 hour, I'm just free, but not
Okay.
in town. Okay, bye.
I'll just jump real quick. We had the tourism's budget meeting on Friday. I don't have the minutes ready for that yet because it went all day, and so I just haven't
The
had time
tourism
to.
meeting went all day?
Yes. It was their budget meeting, so that one typically is pretty long. So I have the social media report for you guys. There wasn't anything like super huge that happened at that meeting other than their review of the budget that they want to submit for LTAC grants. They did have a couple of recommendations for changes to the bylaws. One is to have standards for voting via email. And then the other one was to change the distribution date of the draft minutes. They want those sent out 2 weeks after the meeting is completed instead of the Friday before the meeting. So that'll be on consent hopefully next week. I'm just waiting for a response from the chair and the vice chair with their signatures on the bylaws. And then I'll have the minutes for you guys hopefully next week.
Okay,
Okay.
Oh, are we supposed to be the tourism, are we supposed to be voting? We don't vote on it, the group votes on it, ranks them, and then they come to the commissioners for a final vote, is that?
For the budgets,
No, for the, I'm jumping around. For the,
RFP.
what?
RFP.
Yes.
you guys are all submitting your scores and then.
Oh, you want us to submit scores with
Yes.
LTAC?
Yes,
Okay, I
that-
thought we were a final
not-
decision. Okay.
No, well,
Thanks for
so
clarifying.
what I had understood was that tourism and the commissioners would each do their own scoring sheet. And then I would inform the commissioners of the top 3 scorers. And then you guys would decide the next steps if you wanted to do interviews or
Okay,
reference checks or anything like that.
okay. I wasn't sure that we were part of that. I thought that was a team doing it, not us. Okay. Sorry to like stop your flow
It's okay.
there.
Oh, that's all right. The only other thing that I wanted to bring up regarding tourism is that the transfer from LTAC to Tourism's Fund 114 apparently did not happen back in January when the request was submitted. So Emily and I are working with accounting to get that corrected. But just in case it comes up, the current balance of Tourism's fund is negative $164,000 and some change. But that will be
Because that
corrected.
transfer didn't happen.
Correct.
You should have seen it in the budget, so it must have been in the black until just recently.
It's still in the black.
Yes, it's, as of this morning, it is still negative 164.
Oh, in the red, okay.
Yes,
So it's,
we are working with Mandy to
okay.
get it corrected.
Typically, we see those and we will let whatever office know when they're, so it must have just. All right,
This came up because Emily pointed out that on the budget that was adopted, tourism's amount was incorrect. And it was their, proposed budget of $510,000 and not their actual budget with what they were awarded from LTAC.
okay, because I still show the budget is 510.
Right. And that is incorrect. Their actual budget is 300,000. And so, yeah, we're working with
That would be the
Mandy.
reason, because I'm like, yeah, we usually will contact whoever's over budget and okay, that would be the reason. It's a trigger point for us.
Thanks for catching that.
Thank you, Emily. That's what I've got for boards and committees.
Supporting documents reviewed and discussed in updates. This is regarding retention and OPMA. We had a meeting last week to discuss this, and we've had this discussion many, many times over the years, and it just kind of falls through the cracks. But when people give items to you for your meetings, that is now a public record, and it needs to be kept with the packet of information for the weekly minutes that you guys have. So the stuff that people give you, we need to make sure a fourth copy is received and given to staff so that we will put it in the packet. And Caitlin will talk to you about the process that she's put together.
Made something. Yay.
She's made something.
I made something. So for ease, I mean, people can email us. That is something they can do, but I made a form. Is it going to pop up?
So this would be
Hang on.
so if we look at it and give it back, is it still a public record? Yes, because it was presented.
Anything that you guys review.
Okay.
So the
So,
stuff that Jim gave you this morning, the stuff that HR gives you.
so I made this. It's just a quick little blurb. So somebody can put, right, development services update, the date of their update, their name, contact email in case we have questions, anything like that. And then they can just upload all the documents that they want there, and Barb and I will get it. The goal for this is that when we implement the whole Laserfiche process, that people can submit their stuff and it will automatically go into the meeting minutes folder. And then we won't have to worry about having a copy and scanning it and moving it and making sure it's in the minutes correctly and yada yada, because they will just submit it themselves and it'll go right into the Laserfiche folder.
So you would like this. Mine has notes on it.
I got a clean copy from Jim.
Okay, perfect.
But this is set up so they can do, like, if Public Works has more than one update and they want to submit documents for more than one update, you can just hit add and you can do another one. You can keep hitting add. We did also include a button there for if any of the documents were confidential. So like just in case Renew has something that they want to review, we will put the standard cover sheet over it like we do with consent items, saying that it is confidential, but you know, if they do a public records request, then they can get the redacted versions. And again, this is just, it'll be a link that people can click and it'll pop up with this whole form. And then once they submit it, it comes to Barb and I. But again, the end goal is for it to just go right into the Laserfiche minutes folder.
So like, for instance, like this morning I gave Jim some information from an email. Do I need to print that information out and give you a copy?
Yes. Because what
It's on-
we know now is that people are seeing you in your meetings and they're like, Kevin gave something to Jim. I would like a copy of that.
So give
And
it
we're
him after the
supposed to
meeting.
be able to provide that.
So if you were to,
Your copies are your copies to keep. They're giving it to you for a reason. So if they could just bring that extra copy, that would be beneficial, because then they're making records requests to the office for the stuff that you've passed out or people have given to you. And we have to be able to provide that.
So it'd be better if they just gave it to them directly, to Jim, so it's not a public record.
Like if Kevin had just forwarded that to Jim, it would still be public record like through email, but it probably would not be part of the minutes because you're just forwarding it. But since you've now given it to him in an open meeting, we would need to put that in the minutes.
Okay. I'll just send a copy of it to you in my email. Part of it's printed upstairs, but some of it wasn't. Forward that on to you.
Do you guys like this form idea? Do you want me to put it back up?
No, it's great. Any way to make it simple.
So then what we would just need from you guys is support when it comes to pushing people to use this form.
I
'Cause-
mean, I don't know why you wouldn't. You just get online and put the information in, it's pretty simple.
Yes, sir.
Trying to make their job easier, right?
Yes. Just want to make sure that we've got you guys there in case somebody comes to you to,
So it's just a memory, no, I need to remember.
but if the commissioners are in support of this, we'll put it up on the intranet, just on the same page that the consent agenda form is on. So people, it's right there, pretty easy.
Let everybody know that it's there for them to use.
Yep, we'll send out an email to elected officials and department heads and their CCs.
I'm good with it, but I'm just one guy.
Cindy, do you support it?
Okay, yeah, we'll try it and see.
Okay.
If they don't, we'll just get a copy for, why don't you just grab a copy?
Rob? I know you're moving stuff, sorry.
Move 60 mailboxes.
Okay. A couple things not on the agenda. This Thursday, Board of Equalization, we have quite a few hearings. So just a reminder to pick up your area so that we're not rummaging through your stuff. Otherwise, I'll have
Our
to,
stuff anyway, so it doesn't matter.
better you to move your stuff
I
than me.
all over my cord this morning. Okay.
Do we have anything? So
Uh,
just a
hearings
reminder.
examiner
Oh yeah, hearings examiner was,
Last week.
yeah. Yeah, and they sit at your spot.
That's all good.
Yeah.
I figured it out.
And I have some time off. I'll be gone this Thursday, or this Friday, giving myself an extra day. Friday and Monday. I'll be on vacation for a 4-day weekend.
Okay, I'm getting back to the tourism budget because it's just not settling with me when we've got this and it's showing. I went to the county website.
Uh-huh.
And it is showing that we have a $510,000 budget
Correct.
Yes.
that was adopted.
Correct.
That was an error.
Yes.
It could have been an error, but that's what we have.
Yeah.
So if we adopted,
But the
They
LTAC
were only granted 300 from
10.
LTAC.
300 period, 300 flat,
okay, 300.
Yes.
yes.
So that is all the money that they have to spend is 300. We sent the transfer to accounting in January, it just never got done. So
Okay.
we're re-forwarding it to them so she can do it now. And as far as they're aware, their budget is 300,000.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, we didn't, it looks like we did not adopt a $310,000 or $300,000 budget, so. A little oversight there.
Well, this year's, remember when Andy presented the budget and it was not fully correct and Danny made the motion to adopt the budget as it will be eventually corrected. This year was kind of not
Not correct.
Well, it still is not corrected because I'm looking at my
right.
financials we just got.
And that's what I had recommended to the board. Do not adopt a budget that you do not have fully in front of you as actual and correct.
I think that's just trusting a, director to do their job and their position, and then they didn't do the job, and then there is no repercussion for not doing their job. And now every budget that comes to us is wrong and continues to be wrong. So, Yeah, I'm not gonna adopt anything this year unless it's all how it's supposed to be, because this is crazy.
Every year we learn a vital lesson on the budget.
Okay, that is all I have. Do you have anything else on that?
Nope, I
Caitlin?
was just here for the public records part of that.
Do you commissioners have anything for staff?
No.
No, how's our public records coming along?
Good, busy as usual.
Haven't been hit with any.
No, nothing particularly weird or exciting lately.
Good.
That's good.
Let's keep it that way.
I would agree.
Quiet year till election year next year.
Yeah,
Oh, is that what happens?
yes,
I feel like it does.
Go figure.
gets a little crazy around election time.
Rob, do you have anything for staff?
No, thank you.
Okay, it is
Thank you.
9:55. We are in recess until 10 o'clock and we have our accounting update. Welcome, Mandy. It is 10 o'clock. We have our accounting update with Mandy.
Hi, thank you. I don't have much for you today. We are in Tyler this week, Tuesday through Thursday. John will be on site. He's our IC with Tyler. Hopefully we'll get a bunch of stuff done. But things are looking good. Again, with the delayed go live, we have more time to clean up and perfect some things with Tyler. So I'm hoping that we'll be able to get that the way we want it. We just interviewed for an accountant position, and I can't see anything yet except things are looking promising in that area, and hopefully soon we'll have someone in that position.
Okay, in 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks.
2 or 3 weeks, hopefully, fingers crossed. When's our,
That'll be nice.
yeah. What day are we?
Monday the 14th.
Okay, so we have some time before our next finance update. But is there anything, we're at the half mark for the year. Is there anything special or in particular you'd like me to be looking for?
Yes, our office brought forward that our tourism budget, we're actually overdrawn, but I had the budget at 510,000 where it should be $300,000.
Yes.
So we need to, I guess, correct those numbers, so.
So we don't have to actually do anything to the budget if the intent is to just send less. That's
Okay.
fine. And the negative amount is because we haven't initiated a transfer. What we need is something from LTAC saying, transfer this amount, whatever it may be, 300,000 or whatever.
Was sent back in January.
So was it sent to,
It was sent to you, Aaron, I CC'd Michelle and Barb. Emily forwarded that to you again in her latest email.
then it just needs to be done, is all.
Okay, but we're fine leaving it at the 510,000.
Yeah, the budget doesn't need to be adjusted, no. It's a solo fund, so yeah, there's not gonna be anything snuck in there that to affect it. You only have to do an extension if you intend to exceed the
Extended.
appropriation.
Okay, I didn't know
yeah.
if we could drop it back to 300, so when it, okay.
I mean, for what purpose?
It's just a, okay.
If LTAC won't provide more money, then LTAC won't provide more money.
Pretty much shuts it down.
Yeah.
I think that was my only question.
How's our budget looking so far for halfway through the year?
Haven't yet prepared the June month-end reports. Hopefully I'll have them done before our meeting, our finance meeting. I should. It was something Aaron would do. But we just got the uploads from Treasurer's Office on Friday, I think. And so we need to import their information with our system, then reconcile it back and make sure that everything is jiving, and then we can run the reports.
Yeah, general side, we're short 2.5 million for revenue for property tax. We'll talk about it, I guess. He will bring it up.
I'm curious, new construction, should that be coming up here shortly? Like why, or?
New construction is, it
Was
is like a
only,
year later.
yeah, so last year's new construction would be budgeted for this year, right?
But they, I know.
So 24 construction, I don't believe it hits the taxes in 25. 24 might hit 25, or it could be 26. It seems like it takes a year to a good year plus to kind of hit, but I think we over with the Moses Lake port doing that, and we over calculated on some revenue. I think we had the wrong numbers. We had the wrong numbers given to us, the values.
Because of the tip.
Daryl will tell you, yeah, but I don't think it's all the TIF. So I don't think we got that much. It was something with the difference in funds, that the dollar amount that we were.
I didn't look. Is that Simplot building? Is that part of that tip? Or is it outside?
I mean, they grabbed everything. But it won't go into their tax rolls until it's completed. So once it's completed, then it's like done in, I know it takes a good year. So even if it was completed this year, I don't know if it would be hit the taxes for 2026 or 2027. Missy can tell you, but I know there is a delay. Yeah, I have a feeling we're gonna maybe grab that Wheeler corridor. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did. Because we were talking.
I know they got a lot.
We were talking about some land that when it sold, they were upset because it should have had the value, but you don't, value doesn't change right then. It takes like a year to
Yeah, there's quite a few.
catch up. Okay, I think I have any
Okay.
questions. I'll let you go to John, correct, from Tyler?
He's not here till tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
We
tomorrow.
I just came from our interview.
All right. I don't have any other questions other than the tourism, so thank you for clarifying that.
Yes.
And it is 10:06. We are in recess until 10:15 when we meet with juvenile court. Good morning. It is 10:16. We are here with Swahil from Youth Services for our weekly update. Welcome.
Good morning, thank you. I did wanted to bring up that I know you guys know that we also have the Moses Lake District Court side. So I wanted to explain a little bit of what's happening, and I apologize since we did not have all the information, but now that we do, where we're gonna be compliant. When we move over there, we did have you guys been into that office, into the Moses Lake office?
Well, I've been, but not completely through.
Okay, so we have like different ways that we can get into the building. They have like the WSU side, that's usually the one that we use because our offices are over here. Right between the WSU side, there is another office that I guess probation from district court uses, that also goes to one of the rooms that we're using from district court. And then you can just use the regular district court side when you go through security and things like that.
Right.
So we have been, since we have a group room in the district court side, we have been bringing our kids. And our kids, I was just gonna give you kind of like a little background. When they come to visit us, or when they even come to our offices here in Ephrata, they never get screened. Like, we just take them to our offices, we do everything. The only time that the juveniles get screened is when they go to court. So the district court judges now are asking us to, and that's totally okay. And now that I know that we will be complying with that, they're asking us that every time anybody without a badge come inside their district court side, they have to go through the screening process. So we weren't doing that. Like, sometimes they will take them from
security. The
security.
guard, okay.
Yes.
That makes sense.
So in our side, like in WSU side, obviously there is no security person screening. So they will usually come this way and then they will take them around. And there's like a big hallway that takes to the district court side. So some of them will go that way. And then sometimes they will use the other door, the probation side door, to take them over there. But they will always be with one of our staff. So we didn't think we were doing, not compliance. But now that we know they have to be screened, the only thing that I was thinking that since the district court side has to be screened and we're totally okay with that, the kids that we have over here for WSU on our side, there's not a public restroom in this area. So now that we have to go all the way around and, be screened by security to go use a public restroom if they're on our side. So I was thinking that I wanted to propose if we can, if there is I guess it's not even a half bathroom anymore, but it used to be a toilet and a bathroom in the WSU side that I think they took off. I don't know why, but it's still there. So I was like, well, not the bathroom anymore, but the facility is still there. So I was thinking that maybe if I can ask to put like a public restroom on this area, because it feels kind of silly to me that if they're on the WSU side, we have to go all the way around to go to the other side to be screened to use the public restroom on district court side, because we don't have any public restroom on this area.
What's in that room right now? Nothing?
I think it's just
Empty?
a sink, but it doesn't have a bathroom.
But there's nothing else in there.
No, it's just a little
So why
room that
can't they
used to be a
use-
bathroom.
Why can't they use a regular bathroom if it's
So
not
they
for
have
public?
like the
Employee?
employee bathrooms that
You
they
know,
do.
We all share our bathrooms with the public.
And I will be okay with that, but I haven't really,
Oh.
asked, Andy, since it's like, their
Uh-huh.
bathrooms with their staff too. So I wouldn't have any problem because I know that in the past, we also did when they took over for the other side for us. We used to have two bathrooms. One was for public and the other one was for our staff. But then since they took over half of the Ivy Street, they were sharing one. So I was like, I can ask Andy to do that, but then also I knew that other little room was used to, and it used to be a bathroom. I was like, I don't know if this is possible or not, to ask to put a ticket for a public restroom on this area.
Tom or Kevin, yeah, we can ask Tom or Kevin what
Okay.
the probability, but
If there's a spot for a stool, I mean.
Yes, it's still there, and there's nothing else other than, I think it's just a little, to wash your hands. But it used to be a toilet, and I think they took it out. I don't know why. I didn't ask, but I was thinking since now we're gonna have that area that, our kids on the WSU side or our offices don't need to be screened. If we do need a public restroom, they need to go all the way around.
But I would think that the private and the public could be the same.
Yes, and I have no problem with that. Like I say, we
Just
did
like I
have that
said,
before.
Most of the offices here
Mhm.
share a bathroom
Yes.
with the public. We don't have our own private bathrooms.
And I agree. I was like, I completely agree, but I was like, since there was like that little toilet, used to be a
Yeah.
toilet over there, I was like, I don't know if there is any problem that I can ask to do that or ask more questions to see if it's possible. If not, I have no problem if they share a bathroom, but I wanted to, approach you guys before I tell Andy, is this something that we can do and everybody can share that bathroom?
Okay, I'm gonna shoot a quick, so I don't forget, quick email to Tom and Kevin
Okay.
about.
It was Andy in district court that had made those complaints, though. They're not just coming from nowhere, just so the commissioners know that it will bring up something.
Andrew was making
Andy?
complaints about youth using the bathroom.
To them to use separate bathroom prior, and then district court wanted them all screened no matter what. So
Yes.
I'm just putting that out there that, I have been talking to all of those people and trying to negotiate with district court the whole time. So just know that when you do make the decision that it's going to get probably brought to all of us. So
Yes. And
So,
thank you, Rob, for that. Yes.
Do you think that's gonna be a problem if we ask them to add that bathroom? So that it's,
No, I mean, if they'll add it, then that won't be a problem. But
okay,
just with the other two groups, I mean, it was already a discussion in the beginning,
okay, so maybe that
which I
bathroom.
didn't agree with it. I didn't see the difference. Like Cindy says, we go in the same place everybody else, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like if you live in a clamshell, you don't want to leave your clamshell. So
And then, like I say, it's not a problem for my staff. I'm just thinking since, WSU was there before, I don't want them to feel now, some
Well, if we
type
can
of
add
way.
that extra bathroom, that would be helpful for everybody probably.
Yes,
So then
yes.
you're not having to go through screening and everything else.
Mhm. Yeah, and like I say, screening the kids to go to that side, it makes sense to me and I have no problem. But the only problem I see now is like if we have it on our side, we will have to go all the way around to try to use their public restrooms. And that's it. Yes. But thank you.
Anything else for us?
I think that's it. That was the only thing I wanted to bring to you guys' attention, that we did get in trouble with district court, and I apologize since we
So are all your
were using the
juveniles-
wrong door, huh?
Are all your juveniles behaving themselves now?
Yes, yes. And we are gonna have today a hearing that the juvenile department is usually always on the same page as the prosecutor, but they're putting, I guess, we are thinking that she needs a more severe length of staying. And we're recommending a manifest injustice up by ourselves. Usually, we will always have the prosecutor, that will back us up. But in this point in time, I don't think they saw that this kid needed it. So we're recommending that. So when these youth go to JR, we're asking for a longer period of her to stay in JR. So other than that, I think we're good. Yes. Thank you.
Okay, well, hopefully we have an answer and I will follow up with you
Well,
on
thank
the
you.
bathroom situation.
Yes, and I know Rob has been helping us a lot too, but I did ask, I was able to talk to District Court and told them, "Hey, if you guys have any problem, they can contact me. Like, I know that we should have done that since the beginning too. I don't want Rob to feel like he's in the middle, and we did put him in the middle. But it's like, they should come to me or vice versa. We can go to them as well if we're not doing something right.
our job is to be in the middle, Swahil, so it's all good.
So that
I
private
know,
bathroom,
but I
maybe
feel bad.
we have a public bathroom sign on it by the end of the day, who knows? Okay,
Well, thank you.
thank you. It is
Thank you, guys.
10:26. We are in recess until 10:30 when we have our renew update.
All right, thank you.
Good morning. It is 10:30. We are here with Dell for a renew weekly update. Welcome, Dell.
Morning,
Good
Dale.
morning. How are y'all?
Good. How's your week going?
Good. So far, I just got back from annual leave, so this morning's going good.
Good. Sometimes you walk into a disaster if you've been gone, so I'm glad
Well, it's a whirlwind, but not a disaster.
you're off to a good start.
Yeah. No, we were up camping up on Lake Roosevelt over at Keller Park. So we go across the ferry, and then about 5 miles up, there's a little point where my wife's family's camped for the last, I think they said 65 years. So we went and enjoyed the lake for the week and got back late Friday.
Well, nice.
Yeah, beautiful to be outdoors and enjoy the area that's near us. A couple of agenda items I just had for you this morning. Two of them reminders, and I've got two things I have just to follow up with you on. The first is our crisis budget, which went into effect July 1st. This is for FY 2026. And this crisis budget that we have is $3.9 million for this budget year. That included an additional 2 designated crisis responders, 2 crisis intervention specialists, 2 crisis peers, as well as we currently pay for a co-responder that is located with the Moses Lake Police Department and a co-responder with the Grant County Sheriff's Department. So the Moses Lake one has mostly been paid by the county CV2 community grant, and the sheriff's office has mostly been paid for by the ARPA funds that Renew received through the county as well. Now, for beginning July 1st or effective July 1st, these two co-responder positions are now budgeted through our Carillon contract, so we won't have to use the CV2 funds and the ARPA funds that we were using to continue to support those two salaries. So I wanted to update you on that as well as we start bringing these additional positions through our PMRT process so that you're aware that we are looking to expand the crisis team. We currently have, I think, 18 individuals on that crisis team. This will expand it to 28 individuals. And so I think it's an exciting time for the community to have access to this crisis expansion, which I think is terrific. So I just wanted to remind you of that and provide that update. In a few minutes, I'll also discuss some options with the funding that I think we could take a look at. The other update I have for you is just before you guys is the contract we have with Mober Professional Services regarding the lease there on Yanazawa here in Moses Lake. And just a reminder to you that we have budgeted for this year $190,000 for any new lease options. I'm also understanding that there's some difference on opinion on lease versus purchase and some different things that we need to look at. But it is important for us to have space. It is in close proximity to the new Samaritan Hospital and also gives us an opportunity to expand some of our services and have that access there. I know that's still in process and still something that's being decided on. I know the 10-year piece of that has been a concern, and so I wanted to just let you know I am willing to renegotiate that to a 5-year. Is my only concern about the 5-year aspect was that if it's a 5-year contract, then we have to pay for any renovations or the floor plan, basically. In the 10-year lease, then that's taken into the lease agreement, and we're not paying upfront for that. But with our Moses Lake renovation project not occurring until next spring, we did budget in FY25 $1.3 million for that specific project. So if I do need to go back and renegotiate to a 5-year lease to help this move forward, I'm willing to do that. And we would have the funds available to pay for the facility to be built out. I just want you to know, just be aware of that option as well. I'm not 100% stuck on it has to be 10 years if that's not what's going to work for the county.
So Dell, could you
Yes.
check with Moberg and see if he'd be willing to do like a 5-year extension after the 5 years?
Okay.
I mean, that way we're not completely responsible for 10 years. All of
Yeah.
At the very beginning. I mean, I think if things are going well, you're probably going to stay there.
Yes.
That's my thought. But
yeah, and I think that's been my other reason is that I'm just going to turn around and do another 5 years, and so that was kind of what I was trying to think through. Is it better just to do the 10 now and include the cost of that within that 10 years? But like I said, I'm not stuck on it. I'm willing to go back and renegotiate if that's what we need to do.
well, I'm just wondering if he might be willing to do that, the tenant improvements with a 5-year extension
Okay.
included in that contract.
Okay.
But he may not.
Right.
It's worth asking.
Yes, absolutely. And then the other couple of items that were not on the specific agenda, but I wanted to bring up to you is I followed up on a couple of items that you'd asked me to. The first was I was asked to provide salary comps for my position And so I have worked with HR on that, and we have gone through salary comps to other organizations, and I believe Dan will be bringing that to you to discuss if there needs to be any adjustments made to the salary for the position that I hold. So just for your information, that's something we have been working on, and Dan will be bringing that to you.
Yes, we received it last week. Kevin was not here. And they're right, because we're right in the middle of doing a countywide salary survey.
Uh-huh.
I think there was a discussion, like maybe just wait and then do the whole thing.
Yeah.
So if we don't do it right now, it will be coming shortly, but yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I just wanted you to know that is something I've been working on.
Dan, sorry.
And then there was another request through the commissioners. One was funding for the veterans programming. And this was a question regarding, I think, is Rob Bates' position or funds needed for veterans. And then I also received a request from the Boys and Girls Club of Moses Lake that they have a special behavioral health specialist that through legislation, they lost the funding to be able to continue that program. And that individual goes around to different clubs. Here, I think there's 4 different clubs, but they have a salary and benefits package on a yearly basis that includes the activities that they do. There's about 70,000. And the request was for some bridge or gap funding. And so I've been trying to look into ways that we could help these programs. The interesting thing for me is that even though we have funding, I'm not able to just give or donate to other organizations or other programs that funding. And so I was working with the state auditor also on this to just say what's allowed and what could we do. So a couple of options I have. One is that now that the co-responder programs are being paid by the Carillon contract, would you have opposition to using some of the ARPA funds that are designated for this purpose to allow for the Boys and Girls Club to utilize that we could help with some gap or bridge funding so they can wait for their grants to come through? I could potentially do the same for the veterans programming. And another option would be that we create positions at Renew that then they'd be located at these facilities. So like we did with the school districts where we had mental health therapists that were Grant County employees at Renew, but their location was a specific school or school district. Whereas I could potentially open a position for this behavioral health specialist, but their location would be Boys and Girls Club, or this veterans therapist, but the location would be where they currently are. So I have some options that way. It's not as clean as just being able to donate or to give funds to either. And so I just first want to check if there is any opposition or a process you'd like me to go through regarding the ARPA funds that we would have left over.
No, I have no qualms about using the ARPA funding for still doing behavioral health. You're still within the scope of what the intent was. So I think you have a population in both with the veterans and the Boys and Girls Club that you can make a world of difference. And
Okay.
I think it would be great. Kevin?
Is there an ARPA committee that still meets? Do they need a letter or anything showing that that's what we would be doing?
Was it for suicide prevention? Or it was for the ANRP? I can't remember what
It's
it was.
specific. Well, it's the Boys and Girls Club program was built because of the issues from COVID. And so there's a lot of changes in the children's behavior. And so they hired this individual to continue to support those behavioral health needs in these after school programs and throughout the day. And so now they don't have that ability to have that funding anymore. And so we're just trying to see if we could help them bridge and then see how we could help support it until they had another stream of income.
Yeah, Dale, I would just write a letter to the board letting us know that your intent would be to switch it, whatever. The original intent is still with behavioral health and because there's a need elsewhere, and just kind of describe that in a email or a letter, and then we
Okay.
can approve it, so it's documented. And you might want to CC Carrie on that, so she's aware, she's kind of the one, I think the gatekeeper now of the ARPA grants.
Okay. I will do that.
Okay.
And that's Carrie Heston, right?
No, Carrie
Stockton.
in our office.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Great. Yeah, I've just been trying to look for a way to partner in these two situations. So I wanted to make sure I took a look at that and looked at the different options that we have.
Thank you.
That's my update for you. Do you guys have anything for me?
No, it sounds like we would like to do that 5-year lease. Is that what we're,
I think.
A 5-year with a 5-year extension,
yeah.
right?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Willing to do that, I think that would work for us.
Okay. I will follow up.
Okay, thank you, Dale.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. It is 10:43. We are in recess until 10:45 where we have the fairgrounds update. Good morning. It is 10:45. We are here with Jim McKiernan for our fairgrounds weekly update. Welcome, Jim.
Howdy, howdy. I'm back. Let's see, what do I got on my list? Public Works is doing grading in the rodeo arena through Tom Gaines. And we're putting down some gravel so that area that they took out the track is all smooth and nice. And then the last piece of that is they're going to taper down the track so it can be used for the demo derby. Bleacher project is done and they look great if you get a chance to come out and take a look at them. Fencing contractor is working on concrete for the posts as we speak. And I kind of expect that's going to be a couple weeks before we see the end of that project. So it does leave the fairgrounds a little bit open, but so far we haven't had any issues other than we had a complaint about 2 dogs wandering around the fairgrounds.
I was worried about all those fence posts coming up missing.
What's that?
I was worried about all those fence posts coming up missing.
Yeah, you typically don't want to leave stuff out there too far. We did get a call over the weekend. BLM and Forest Service called and asked if we could house 60 firefighters. Obviously, with all the fires going on, in fact, a relative of mine lost their house in the Western Pines fire last Wednesday, burned it right to the foundation. And so the 60 firefighters, we're going to house them in the 4-H building. And it's a federal contract, so we're working on the last details of that. And what's nice is they pay the going rate, and we provide them a place to sleep that's air conditioned with a kitchen, showers, bathrooms, and so on. And then they'll also have some tent campers in Southfield. I told them I do have that period of time a few days before fair and during fair that I can't house anybody, and they totally understood. They're appreciative of the fact we also have Wi-Fi and all that available. So with all the fires going on in the area, this group is coming up from Prineville today and we'll be spending tonight and then probably through Thursday night. And then we'll move them to the Huck Fuller for 2 days because we have a Kinsey in the 4-H. And I don't want them to be in the commercial because it'll be noisy. And then we'll move them back to the 4-H until about the 5th or the 4th. Michelle Jaderland has voting in there on Tuesday the 5th. And then we'll continue to be able to house them after fair that week on Wednesday through about the 12th of September. And then we'll play it by ear. I'll work hard to try to find them a building. It's, anything we can do to help crews like that, especially with all the fires going on. I think it's important for us to do.
Yes.
And normally these attack crews are 15 people. So this is 4 attack crews with equipment. So it's a pretty big group that we're trying to house. And last but not least, you do have an application for our Fair Advisory Committee from our favorite person, Darcy Holmesley. And so I would like you to, through Caitlin, approve Darcy as an additional member, of which we have 2 openings. And I think she's leaving the ad up just to see who else we get. We're struggling a little bit with participation, so I'd like to get both positions filled, and then we may need to talk to a couple of the participants in the FAC and say, hey, look, we understand you're busy. We really need the commitment. It's important for us and the community, and let them decide if they want to continue or not. But Darcy is going to be a great addition. I thoroughly hope you all see the benefit of having her. She's got great experience. She knows the operations of the fair as well as the animal side, and so she would be great. So I'm requesting that you approve her as a fair advisory member. That's all I got.
So do you think you're gonna have a shortage of FAC members this year to help out at the fair?
I think so. We have a meeting on Thursday, and I'm hoping that the schedule fills up. I know Steve Rimple and his wife are usually here. David X here. Dave Dormeyer's staying on site again this year. Nicole helps out with fair entry registrations. My wife helps out with that too. And then Alex helped out in the office a little bit. Mary is supposed to come in, and I think she's going to tell me that she's available the week before and during fair to help in the office. So I think we're in pretty good shape. Having Darcy will help, especially with the concessions, since she's really familiar with that and can help Rosalind a little bit during that process too.
Good.
That's all. Oh, the only other thing I'm finalizing is hotel rooms for our security. I'm working on that today, and we should be able to finalize all of that. But I think we're in pretty good shape for fair. We feel really good about where we're at. I need to knock on wood. Even Chris this morning, Turner, said he felt like we were in a pretty good position for fair. We could use some temperature reductions, but other than that, I think it was 104 on my deck yesterday afternoon.
Well, we're gonna get that heat over with this month, and it's gonna be cooler next month.
I don't know. We felt like we had a late start, so it's probably gonna be hotter than heck next month.
Let's hope it's in the 80s again this year. That would be phenomenal. But
Agreed.
oh, I will tell you, the Republican booth is looking pretty good. I think they're going to plan on painting on our community day on the 26th on the outside. The inside should be painted by them. We're supplying the paint in that case, and we supplied the windows. But as far as the remodeling goes, I think Vicky and crew are happy with the progress they've made and that we've contributed to get that building a little more presentable.
Good.
So if you hear anything, I think it's going pretty well. If you hear anything other than that, please let me know.
You don't wanna know, Jim.
Oh, come on. I like to know the bad with the good, usually. Other than that, I think we're in good shape.
Yeah, no, everything is looking good out there. When are they doing the grading out there?
They did the grading last week, and they're doing gravel today. So the gravel's, Chris said he thought it was 50 loads of truck and pup of gravel going in on that back area.
Oh, good.
So it looks amazing.
Yeah, I'll have to come in on my way home, check it out.
Yep. We're rock picking the rodeo arena and getting that ready now that the bleacher project's done. And then Ellensburg's going to rent our rock picker again in a week and a half. And which they do every year, twice a year, and we charge them. I think our charge is $9.75, and because it's another government entity, it makes it very easy for us to do that to help them out. So
Good.
that's all I got.
Okay, well, thank
Thanks,
you,
Jim.
Jim.
All right, thank you. Chat later.
10:53, we are in recess until 11 o'clock, and we meet with our risk and safety coordinator. Good morning, it's 11 o'clock. We're here with Blair to go over our risk and safety update for the week. Welcome, Blair.
Welcome, thanks for having me. Just want to go over a couple of things here today. Since our last meeting, we've had a couple new claims. Some have been closed, and then some new ones have come in. On 7/10, claim 1322, we're issuing the check for 1.2 million to close that account, and that was with the verdict that came from the dog biting case. So that one is closed and taken care of. I'll be getting closing information shortly once it's sent. On the 9th, we had a tort claim come in due to damaged vehicles from the paving project over on West Shore. So we're working on addressing that and taking care of that. Public Works is working on a plan for that, so that's coming along nicely. On 7/7, the treasurer's office got 3 different claims for overpaid taxes. One's from RAC, one's from SGL Carbon Fiber, and one's from FlexJet. And so with these 3, it'll be 4 total for this tax claims. Moving on, just want to let you know that the ADA grievance that I was doing, that was filed, has been completed. It was turned over to that individual. Have got a response on that. I have forwarded it to you guys to review, and we'll keep that paperwork for 3 years, which is mandated. The Grant County Accident Prevention Plan, just doing the final touches on that, and that'll be sent to the department heads and elected officials shortly. So that should be out this week. And then the last one is, brought this up a while ago about the storage tank policy that we are working on to get renewed, something that we're required to have. I got the paperwork for it, however, it does need to be signed. So I'd like to have you guys sign it if you are able to for me. Rob has reviewed it before and has paid or signed off on the application. We did add $274 for a terrorism coverage cost. We haven't done that. We didn't do it last year, but I think for $274 for the year is definitely worth it. It gives us protection if an act of terrorism is done on any of our tanks, which will far exceed the $274. Any questions on the policy?
I didn't have any.
Okay. So I'll just put this on.
So that would be, sent to Public Works.
Yeah, it'll be sent to Public Works. I have Rob's name on it, but I was told to do that, and then you guys will just put your names and signatures on it. With that, along that line, with department heads and elected officials or department heads, they're allowed to sign contracts under 10,000. I haven't been told, does my job title allow that signing power to do that or not?
Really good question.
I don't know if that's in the policy and procedures manual.
Because you're not under the commissioners, you're under HR, correct?
No, I'm under commissioners.
Oh, so typically if it's under the commissioners, the commissioners will sign.
Well, yeah, because all department heads are technically under the commissioners. And so that's the question with the department is making the risk management department.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm alongside HR. And it's what we're trying to find out with that.
That's probably something we'd have to change in our policy.
Well, but typically like our policies, I think Barb's started signing some of the policy or some of the, not policies, but contracts. Maybe not. Barb, did you see,
I no longer do that because I'm no longer the supervisor, so the board signs on behalf of our office or Kevin.
Yeah.
and your department head?
Well, I work, because that's the way
Well,
it's,
no, this is
yeah.
where I'm like, just trying to clarify.
Yeah.
Because, Blair, I'm not trying to act like an idiot, but your position was moved about 20 times under HR, under us, and I really
Yeah.
don't recall.
Yeah, it's not under HR. I work alongside HR, but
And you
decor.
are a
Yeah,
department head.
I believe, I don't know, I believe so, but I don't know 100% because we haven't.
It's kind of a long range.
To be honest, I'm not sure if you're a department head either, but I believe you are a department head.
This is where I asked him to come in because like Tony is, you don't consider him a department head, but he's a department all by himself. So he's a program. So is risk coordination, is that a program under the board like the others?
And Barb, I think this is where we bounced around 20 different times, and I don't recall where we ended up settling it. So that'll be a great question.
You betcha.
HR.
Yeah.
So yes, if you are a department head, you would sign it. If you're under the commissioner's office.
Yeah, then you
or
guys would.
HR,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was what we're trying to find out about that because
Okay.
I could have had Andy sign it because it falls under him, but since it's all been sent to me and I'm in charge of all the insurance, I was just wondering what.
Yeah, because I thought at one time we had department heads, but, and this was back when this was in here, we do not have department heads underneath us. I mean, within our office.
Yeah. So that's just something we'll need to discuss and figure out. So moving forward, I'll know.
Rob, do we have permission to stamp your name?
Oh, the terrorism insurance coverage. Okay,
Yeah, I already talked to Blair about it on Friday or Thursday.
for our,
I can get that to you guys.
I just want to make sure,
Yep.
because you are our first piece of paper that's come through, that you did not give Caitlin a copy of this, so.
Yeah, we just,
We have the draft copy, yes. Well,
yeah, I'll
I
give,
just lost track of my.
yeah, no, I'll scan that in.
Caitlin is asking Rob if,
yes, he approved.
okay.
So that is all I have
Okay,
for
Blair, I
you
wish I
guys.
had a great answer.
Yeah,
I'm thinking you're probably a department head, but
yeah, it's,
I will clarify that.
understand. So that is all I have. Any questions or things you need me to work on?
Do you want to pull up your job? Do you have
I have it on my computer upstairs, yeah.
pull it, because you'll probably be able to get it faster than I will, because I'll have to,
Yeah, I'm trying to remember, I don't remember
let me
what.
do, because I know we reviewed it multiple times. I don't know what I just have to draft. Proposed job.
And that's probably all
Yeah,
I
I
have
don't
too.
have I just have the drafts. Go look and see, it'll tell you if it's a department head or not.
Sure, I'll look to see. I don't remember it saying anything like that, but I'll double check that.
I just have the draft. Might be in there, sorry.
You're good.
More to come. Today's an educational day. That's it.
That's it.
And we will get the rest, figure out if you're a department head or not. It is 11:09. We are in recess until 11:15 when we meet with the treasurer. Is Daryl here?
Daryl's not, but Carrie Heston will be here for that.
All right.
Morning.
Good morning. It is 11:15. We are here with Carrie Heston for our weekly treasurer's update. Welcome, Carrie.
Good morning.
How's Daryl doing?
Well, he was hopeful he was going to be able to come in today, but he gave us gory details that I won't share.
I heard he was lurking around the halls
Yeah,
last week, so he's been in.
he's eager to be back.
Okay.
But honestly, nothing's really changed since last week. We're just playing cleanup right now. Address changes and all that jazz. We're really close to implementing our half of the financial software, the Climber GL. We're doing parallel testing right now. And I've been working real close with the auditor's office as far as kind of getting things mirrored with Tyler Munis, and hopefully that'll go smooth in October. It will. But, yeah, other than that,
I
we're,
like your it will.
what?
It will.
It will.
It will.
It will. I have no doubts. So, yeah, other than that, everybody's taking vacations and doing their thing, you know? Did you guys have any questions? Not that I would know anything.
No, I don't think so. I think my questions were, more accounting. Just so I can update, we had a discussion, veterans. Tony thought that the veterans new employee is coming out of his budget, not that 104.
I think it was me that
Oh,
had that
okay.
misunderstood. I think Tony had said something and I misunderstood what it was, and then but.
Okay, I CC'd you on that email.
Yes, it
Okay.
sounds like it is resolved, but. I think
Okay, we'll just need to do a transfer and whatever we need to do to clean that
Oh,
up.
he was asking about cash balances, wasn't
Tony
he?
was?
Yeah.
Could have been.
I
Well,
gave him an N number.
He has a new employee
Oh.
and the wages are not coming out of that account. So
Gotcha.
that's where, when we looked at his budget, because he wanted to hire a behavioral health specialist. So yeah, his numbers were not jiving, so that's what it triggered.
That's nice, a behavior health.
Well, they have somebody the state pays for.
Nice.
But we're trying to get the funding through Dell, so I don't think he has enough funding in his budget to,
I don't believe he does.
so cool. Caitlin is looking at that, so we can discuss it right now while we're talking budgets, I guess. Following up from our budget meeting earlier.
I look forward to those. I like to see the, you
I
know,
do too.
how it's all panning out.
Doing pretty good. It's just Daryl is making me panic with that $2.5 million
Always.
shortfall that but he always likes to avoid that. Live on the edge of we're short cash.
He's gonna be missed. There was a situation last week and I said, how do you know about this kind of stuff? And he goes, just experience, you know, I know what to
And he
look for.
doesn't know Daryl is not afraid to call
Oh,
and
absolutely.
do the research and then find
Resourceful.
out if we're doing it incorrectly or if, no, he will research it. He doesn't just.
Yeah, his pool of people is very big. Yeah.
I think for the wages and stuff, we were waiting on numbers from Mandy, but the bit that we were looking at was like the office supplies and stuff, because he had to pay for all the new, everything for the new employee. But it sounds like from his response to you, Cindy, it sounds like he knows where that's gonna be coming from, that it's that it'll be coming from vet services. So I believe that he'll be working with Mandy to get that budget extension going.
Okay. Well, he didn't hire Rob Bates, did he, yet?
No, I think
Oh.
this is the new employee, the
The new employee.
Trevor.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
yes, he had to buy like, we had to get like the monitors and
Yes,
all,
yes.
all the fancy
Stuff.
stuff, yeah.
New setup.
Fun stuff.
Okay, that was my only comment. Sorry to make you sit through that one. Sort of follow up on a question we had earlier. Okay, well, it is
My part was good.
11:20. We are in recess until 11:30 when we meet with the assessor's office. Good morning. It is 11:30. We are here for the assessor's office update, the weekly update. Welcome, Matt.
Thank you. All right, well, this should be pretty quick, barring anything that you all may have. Just wanted to touch on where we're at for our BOE appeals. We started with 211 appeals. 2 more have been added due to late filing waiver. So total of 213 of those. There's been 47 agreements to this point, 24 withdrawals, and 77 of those have been responded to by the appraisers. More have that ended up either in a withdrawal or an agreement. But of the remaining after those 2, 77 have been responded to, leaving 65 still needing responses. The appraisers, we've heard up to this point, there's been 9 of the appeals heard. Most of that because they've been cut down with agreements and withdrawals before the actual hearing. We have our next hearings are going to be this Thursday here in Clayton. We'll be handling those for our office this week. We've got 3
Are they
weeks.
available online? Sorry.
Well, you can call in. There is a
Okay.
call in and access for that either online or through the phone. And then the recordings are also online as well on the YouTube channel. So aside from that, we've got 3 weeks left of our new construction cycle. That will end on the 31st of July, so just shy of 3 weeks. And the appraisers are out trying to pick up all of that by that deadline. And so there's still quite a little bit to be done. I want to say we've got, I think we've got about 1,300 or 1,400 permits still left to be entered. So they're actively working on that and getting those numbers reduced. After that, they'll switch back over to entering all of the normal reval parcels that they've already inspected. So we have a couple of
Okay, so just, I was trying to explain to Kevin, I know when new construction happens, it doesn't happen that year. So the $1,300 to $1,400 applications happened in 2024.
So that's depending. So when we get a permit, if we go out and the permit's not complete, whatever construction's not complete, then we inspected it, we put our comments in, and then it's inspected again the next year. So they'll be inspected either until the permit has expired, with which they'll need to get a new permit to continue the work, or it gets completed. So it can be, I mean, some of them we've been multiple years back to the same place and just adjusting percentages based on how far the construction is. With residences, if they're not airtight, they're not put on the rolls until after that point, until after they're airtight, and then at a percent complete. And we'll have them going all the way up. So for the new construction they're inspecting now, some of them are all the way up to June of 25 that they have. That was our cutoff, the 1st of June. Any new permits come in would be handled the next year because we just didn't have we don't have the force to be able to get to all of them.
I was trying to explain to Kevin, I'm like, no, there's a delay. It's like a year or two.
Yeah.
So thank you for explaining.
So we'll have houses that start after that point that nothing goes on until they're done. But for the most part, we try and follow up on any that are close before the end of new construction to get them on at full value if they are in fact completed. And so for new construction, it can go all the way up to the 31st of July. After that point, it's the next year before they're picked up. And so that's what leads to such a large number of permits. It's not just 1 year's worth of permits, but could be potentially multiple years that we're still following up on. And then, of course, any that the appraisers pick up when they're on inspection cycle that we either haven't got a permit on or a permit wasn't taken out and we're out just picking up the improvements on the land. So we're now to a full office for the first time in quite a while. Our new hires are doing great. Our newest two, Myra and Chelsea, they're a part of the office staff crew. Chelsea will be taking on sales as well as current use, and Myra is handling manufactured homes. And so they're filling in those roles really nicely, and we're definitely happy to have them. And that takes off the workload from a lot of the others that have been trying to carry until we get to the point where they've got the experience to take over. So
How many appraisers do you guys have now?
as far as appraisers, we have 6. Yep, that are in the field regularly. So we've got one that was hired, Bryce. He was hired just a few months back, and he's been kind of helping fill in and help people get stuff entered, learning the program and helping with either new construction or entering those parcels that were inspected that haven't been entered yet for the inspection cycle. So, and that pretty much does it for our office as far as pressing things. I didn't have anything from Melissa that she had mentioned wanting to be brought up, but is there anything that commissioners have for our office? Any questions or anything we can?
Yeah, one last question. The TIF, does that include the new Simplot building?
As far as I'm aware, I think it does include that area. I don't know. I would have to.
No, I think it
check.
did too, the Wheeler Corridor one. I think they are grabbing that.
Yeah, it was kind of an interesting map on the areas, but I think they were well aware of that going in, and that was a part of it. So, yeah.
Okay,
So that will all be wrapped into that.
I'll be getting some money off of that.
So.
Okay, well, if that is it, it's 11:37. We are in recess until 11:45 when we meet with the fire marshal for our update. Good morning. It is 11:45. We are here for our weekly fire marshal update or bi-weekly fire marshal update. Welcome.
Hello, and thank you for having me again. Haven't done one of these in a little bit. I was out of town on the last one, and honestly, when they rearranged all the schedule and stuff, I thought this one went away. I had my calendar.
Sorry.
My calendar went ding, and I was like, wait a minute. And so, yeah, I looked at the schedule. I'm like, oh, we're still doing this. Cool. I think it's great. I appreciate it. So I'm glad it's still our time, so to speak. Just some minor updates. Working through an issue with the gorge and one of their cooking booths out there. They changed its the food it was cooking, and the suppression system inside wasn't adequate, so they got notified to get a permit and fix that. Last time I was out there, they had fixed it and it was in operation, but they didn't do the permit part, so I got on them about that. So we're working through that little thing. Not a major deal. I'm sure the system is now safe, but still got to see it. So they're working on getting me that stuff, and we'll get that done. Fires, there's been a few. Had one this weekend over on the base that I didn't get notified of correctly through Mac, so I didn't know about it until after it had happened and was done. So Mac and I are working on that again to make sure that gets fixed.
Oh, did you need to do an inspection on that?
They requested, yeah, they requested me to come out, and they called and left a message on the phone. They're supposed to call twice and then call my personal phone if that phone doesn't go through. So they only left a message, and I didn't see it until way later in the day. So missed that one. So we're working that out so they actually do it. That protocol we've established is there's 2 today going right now, one in Warden and one in Grand Coulee for little garage house fires. Both of them are in city limits, so they're ones that I wouldn't go to anyway. But just keeping you guys updated. The stuff it's happening.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The fair's coming up. What is that? It's a week earlier than I thought it was. I lost my mind, and I saw it because I was going to be gone. I'm gone the week that I thought it was down teaching in Florida, and I looked at that and about lost my mind. And then I realized, no, it's the week earlier than it's supposed to be, or because you count Friday as the whole week, and then
okay.
So it bumped it to the 12th instead of the 18th or 19th or whatever I thought it was. So that's good because I'll be here. So I'm ordering some stuff out of the community risk reduction budget that you guys allotted in this budget cycle. So appreciative of that. We get some stuff out there for people, pushing smoke alarm stuff and kitchen safety, kitchen cooking. That's those 2 things.
Don't put water on oil.
Some of that, yeah. Make them more exciting. But those 2 things, we get a lot of cooking fires in the county, and then our fatality fires, most of those haven't had working smoke alarms in those places. So those are 2 real big risk reduction points for me. So I'm getting some stuff for the fair to hand out, and for adults and kids that kind of push those messages. I appreciate the Airbnb info. Those guys are a pain. I've been going through lots of struggles to get contact to see how to put our regulations on that list for them. I don't know that it'll, like the email said, make it easy to enforce. It doesn't change anything on that. It just puts regulations in another spot, and allows people to, and they can do this now, put their permit stuff in the Airbnb site. So, but working on it, because every resource we can get is a good thing. So, but dealing with 5 different people from probably 5 different countries, working through the support chain to even figure it out has been tedious. There's probably another message on my phone now from somebody else. What's your question? Oh my goodness. So yeah, there's no easy way. I had to log into my Airbnb account to actually even contact support to talk about it. So they're like, "Are you renting?" No, I need to talk to somebody. So it's very frustrating. Working on it. Because
It's never an easy thing.
yeah, I think that'll be good to have that, in another spot where it's visible to the folks who are using that service. So appreciate that. And then thank you guys for listening to Jim on fire marshal future stuff and kind of rebuilding and moving forward. So the light at the end of the tunnel may not be a train. So that's very helpful, and it's very good. And it also makes me feel a little more confident, right, in what I'm doing. So I appreciate that from you guys. That's what I have.
Appreciate your help. Have you heard anything more on the Fort Air
No.
deal? I gotta talk to Missy, see how things are going.
Yep, that's something that's in the district and city and however those guys want to do it. It's really, I mean, as far as provide them information, but I don't really have a role in where they go from there and their special election and all of the things that they need to do to make that work.
Right.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything, and it's been a month or more on that. So anything else I can answer or provide for you?
Right now.
Okay. As always, I'm an email away.
I think that's it.
All right.
Okay. Well, it's 11:51. We are in recess until 1 o'clock, and we have one position for position management. Good afternoon. It is 1 o'clock. We are here with position management, the position management review team, PMRT.
Dan, you have the floor.
I get to go?
You get to go. It's
Sure.
your position.
I'll try to keep it brief. I'll have to do this like a Dickens classic, past, present, and future.
Sure. Okay.
So if everyone recalls, a few weeks ago, Dell came and presented to PMRT, and it was for a peer support specialist that had lived experience with substance use disorders. That one got approved. It's online and posted. Part of that PMR meeting too also included a request for approval to hire a designated crisis responder with an SUDP, which stands for Substance Use Disorder Professional Credential. And that got approved. And then through a series of meetings and questions, and my boss asking some really good questions, and we had a meeting, and we came to the conclusion that it might be better to go a different route, which would be the therapist too at Renew already has they already have the credentials. The only thing they don't have is the DCR designation. So, and we also found out there was an internal candidate that was interested, which sometimes happens. And so the thought was, why are we making this more difficult than it really needs to be? We've got a therapist too. We've got 2 of them. If they're interested in getting designated as a DCR, we can go that route and revise that job description. So that's what the purpose of the meeting is for today. It's funded through the same grant that Dell was speaking to that we got through the Healthcare Authority, and it's called COSSIP, I'm guessing is how you must pronounce that acronym, Comprehensive Opioid Stimulant and Other Substance Use Program. So it's a 3-year grant. The position, if the therapist to either one of them gets designated to do that work, would be funded through the grant, and then thereafter they would just be absorbed back into Dell's normal budget, I guess, or wherever they normally charge to. So then part of the PMRT would, request would also include a, I guess, the approval to move forward with, what we feel is appropriate, which would be a stipend if either of the therapist twos get the DCR designation, and they have to be using it too. So just because you're designated doesn't mean you get the stipend. You actually have to be utilizing it for the role that is funded by the grant.
How long does it take to get the GCR designation?
Trina?
Oh, go ahead.
No,
No,
go ahead.
I was
Yeah.
I was gonna say that the department does, an application to the state. And then the person or people need to do a course once they get that designation. Yeah, I don't know how long the course is. So I wanna say it's like a week.
Yeah, Tracy said it wasn't too challenging.
Yeah.
Or anything.
Okay.
So then if it's approved, then part of the next step of the approval process would be to request board approval for bargaining authority to move forward with being able to present us a proposal to the union that would include a stipend for people that have that DCR designation and that are going to be using it.
Right.
Which would have to be clearly articulated in the MOU that just because you have it, it's similar to the bilingual stipend. You have to be using it for the role that you're in.
Okay. Well, thanks for putting your heads together and formulating.
It was
this.
Decora's idea, I'm not gonna lie.
Well, Decor used to work over in that.
Did
She
the
was
work.
part of that world.
Realistically.
He did the work. I just added insight.
No, I think it looks
It's a
good.
new thing.
It would what?
It would be, it's a new stipend?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and it would be a percent based on?
Well, we would have to bargain it with the
Okay.
union. My guess it would be a flat amount.
Flat amount?
That's
Oh,
$200
That's
Oh,
$200,
okay.
But we probably won't even go close to that realistically. The problem that we have is the supervisor who manages that group of individuals is at a band 15, this one is at a band 14. So there's already a little bit of a compression issue. And when you factor in the fact that the therapist twos also are eligible for overtime, which could happen, and then a stipend on top of that, they're right next to the supervisor level of pay.
What's that rate be for every hour that they work or use there?
It would be probably a flat rate for a month. So if they're doing the work, they would get that per month. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Again, that would need to be bargained with the unions, but it's kind of what we're looking at.
And are you, when is this supposed to go, after that process? Okay, yeah, okay.
The union has a heads up, but what I haven't discussed with them yet is the idea of moving forward with a therapist. Too. We talked about trying to get a DCR field that has the SUDP credential, but I think this is probably going to be more palatable wise, more appetizing, I think, for them.
And the benefit of having a therapist too with the designation is that that person can be put on what is called the bench.
Mm-hmm.
So if there is a need for a call out, that person is then available to do that, to be on call or to pick up shifts during holidays, vacations, allow more access. Because currently when the crisis department is gone, a person is gone from that department, they're just down a person, and it can be a scheduling nightmare for them. So this will allow for building that bench up some.
Well, just how our monthly stipends work, if,
Yeah.
when they use it, right? So there could be months where they don't get that stipend?
Could
Or
be.
Could be, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Could be that if they're not doing the work, typically, my guess is that if they are designated, they will be doing the work. We just want to make it really clear that if you're designated, you're gonna be doing crisis work. So,
We have to have some sort of a caseload.
yeah, within the crisis department. But we can, as we get further, we can make sure that that's all spelled out and
Okay,
have you
yeah.
review it first, so.
Okay, thank you.
You can't get prices paid for working under me, okay?
What'd you say?
I said you can't get crisis paid for working under me.
Hazard pay. Okay, Mandy, how are budget looking?
I mean, if it's renew and it's grant funded, it should be fine, yeah.
Okay.
We'll probably have to add in the code for the stipend, but other than that, it's fine.
Okay. Okay. Commissioners, any questions?
Can I ask a silly question?
You sure can.
All these renewed positions, do those become county positions? And so if this funding went away and we didn't need that employee anymore, what happens then? We lay them off, or how does that work?
Well, hopefully that wouldn't happen, but yes, if the funding went away and Dell wasn't able to, if he didn't have the revenue to cover it, then yes, there would be a layoff.
Okay, so it doesn't create a problem for us then?
No, nothing for the county.
No, because he has his own funding
He
source.
has his own funding sources.
And usually with the transition employees or new grants or grants and funding coming, I mean, it always feels like there's a new grant coming, so they would just kind of do a little change. They just name it, call it something different.
Yeah.
And some of the duties change a bit.
Currently, there are 2 therapist twos in the department, and one of them is interested in getting that designation. So if the fund went away for the designation, then they would just go back into that the normal therapist two.
In this case, we're not adding head count, we're just essentially, they're just charging.
Adding a new duty to them, or
And
adding,
then Tracy said that if the funding went away, they would likely just absorb the person back into this. So the head count doesn't change, it just changes where they're funded from.
Their funding source. Anything further?
oh, I think it sounds good.
Okay. Well, we'll bring it back tomorrow during the HR update.
Okay, so do you have a copy for Barb? So she,
Bam.
thank you. Thank you, Dan, for saving the day. Oh, I did have a question. Blair was asking, we were talking about signing contracts. He asked us a question. Is Blair a department head or an employee under the commissioners or an employee under
He
HR?
is currently under the budget, under the HR budget. So at this point, he's not a department head,
Okay.
but anticipated, I think the board was anticipating that 2026, that he would be then moving into his as
Solo role.
Solo
Okay.
role, yeah. I mean, he reports to you as the board.
Okay.
I just help him with the daily minutia of Grant County, so.
I'll let him know.
Yeah.
Okay. We couldn't answer that. We're like, I don't know what you are. So.
Okay.
Send my
Well, I will-
clarifying email. Thank you.
I will help explain it to him again.
Okay. Thank you. That was my only question.
You're welcome. Okay, well, that's all we have for you today. Thank you for your time.
Good afternoon. It is 1:45. We are here for our commissioners' work session. Was Rob able to join us?
I do not see him as of yet.
Okay. Let us know, please, if he jumps on. He's been joining us. I think we're going to start with our guest, Candy Erickson, if you're ready. Would you like to present or visit with us during this? Okay, it's kind of our update that we just kind of talk amongst ourselves if anything's going on.
Okay, I have some information that is only for you two.
Okay.
And so if you want to do, I don't know what's going on.
Okay, well, we can, basically Candy will be delivering the information.
Okay.
We received an email, I'm not sure if it was from you or from Andrew, on the 3 applicants for.
That was from Andrew.
You need to disregard anything that you receive from Andrew. He has no authority in this information
Okay.
getting processed anymore. He was, he resigned from the party and they board, or the central committee accepted his resignation as of last Thursday.
Okay,
So anything that you're receiving since then, just ignore, please. He wasn't even in the session. He doesn't know what went on.
okay.
But what I can do is I can give you this and I can tell you what's in here. And then the one piece of information, I need to find out if you want to take it or if I give it to Human Resources. It's very sensitive and it has to be.
I would recommend giving it to HR because the stuff that we receive is open to the public, so.
Okay.
Okay.
This is a complete process book of what we did, including the conclusion. I made these up so that you would know exactly what the process we went through is. You'll notice that the first letter tells you who our first rank was. It also indicates the fact that it was so terribly close, it was very hard between two candidates. And also, we don't do the background checks, that's up to you. And just wanted to make sure, this is for Rob, so he has one also. Okay.
And all three of them have worked in the prosecuting attorney's office.
Yes, they
so
have. They've all
I'm
three.
assuming they have
Yes.
met the.
We made
talked
sure,
earlier, so.
we made sure that they were all voting members in the state. We even went so far as the second applicant, which I'm sure you know who they are because you're scheduled for an interview with them on the 21st. Brandon Guernsey did file through the state, but we noticed in the last few weeks, we've been having some problems with people that have registered in the state to vote since he drove back from Georgia. So I took one of these, it's filled out, I'm gonna drop it over at the elections department before I leave. So he will be legal in all ways, shape and form. The reason we put that whole book together is to give you a good idea of exactly what we asked them and to help shortcut maybe some of your problems that you're gonna have, because we do have a time crunch. And we realized that we moved as quickly as we possibly could, but we had a certain process, as you'll probably see in there, that we have to go through timelines too. Setting out the applications, putting out the notices, all of that information. But I came with it so that I could give you that information and then have you look it over and see if you have any questions that maybe I didn't address. And then I will talk to HR and see if she wants to pursue the other information. It's not bad information, it's good information, so I don't want you to get the wrong idea.
Okay, no, I think that would be the safest spot. If you're not sure if you should release it, HR would be.
Right.
the
Well,
gatekeeper
it's, I
of that.
can't release it. This is the problem.
Okay.
It's a reference that is willing to talk to you.
Okay.
He's from DC. He's a judicial person. And he worked with one of our candidates. One of our candidates was his office assistant. The last 2 years he went to college. And this particular individual mentored 40 attorneys, and they all graduated with honors. And he also kept the office up. And this particular judge wants to be able to help you in any way that he can, because he wants you to hear everything you possibly could about this person.
Okay.
So I'll give you a minute to look at it, and you can tell me if you have any questions, then I'll get out of your hair.
No, it looks good. And I just want to thank you for, it's always difficult putting these together. And as you know, it's not always fun selecting an elected position for.
Yes, it is.
Everybody in our county.
You'll
Even if
find-
they vote themselves, they're still upset when somebody else doesn't win.
Oh,
and it's
it happens. We know that.
impossible.
The one thing that you'll find in the letter that we gave you that talks about the process on Saturday, the individuals that we had were very vocal about the fact that they want to get the prosecutor's office up and running and get it doing the job that it should be doing. And they have made some additional recommendations over and above the person that they chose in the #1 ranking. Please don't take offense to them. It's just something that they wanted to make sure that you heard. And we had a good cross-section of individuals, private, that are professional people as well, working with a volunteer organization. I know you guys have all done that. You have to tread the waters carefully, but they made good points and there are things that you should be aware of that we discussed.
Commissioner Jones is logging on now.
Okay, thank you. Rob? Yes, he's on. Rob, you have your booklet that was dropped off here from the Republican Party. Would you like it scanned so you have access to it right away?
Hold on, when I get promoted to panelist, the volume goes in half. So I got to put in 2 AirPods in order to hear.
Okay. Do you want me to repeat that?
You have another calling user as well.
I have a feeling Rob will want to see this, so as soon as we can get an answer from him, if he would like to. I think it looks pretty good, so thank you.
Okay, very good. I also left my card in there
Yep,
too.
right here, we can call you
If you
if
have any questions, feel
Okay.
free to call me. So I'll leave you. You got plenty to do without me.
No, we appreciate you doing this.
No problem.
It's all
That's
nice and
what
tidy, so thank
Put me in
you.
there to do.
Do you know where HR is? Do you want somebody to show you where HR is?
It's down the hall on the left.
It's, yeah, this window literally, yeah.
And what was her name again?
Decorah Anderson Cook.
Okay, very good. I'll talk to her. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, pending decision spreadsheet, we addressed that this morning. Rob, can you hear us? R&R invoice and bill.
Yeah. Thanks.
Rob, would you like the office to scan in the information, the packet that we received, and so you can read it? We can email, I guess, and ask him. R&R invoice and billing.
Yes, we wanted to, we were instructed by commissioners last week to put this on your work sessions. We can talk about it while Kevin is here. How we wanted to move forward with ER&R billing. So we currently owe Public Works, I believe it's $33,000 total for the 3 vehicles that we have for the commissioner's office. One of them we do use every day, that's the mailroom vehicle. The other 2, one is consistently unreliable, so is not used very often, and that's 619. And then the van is used most often by everybody else and not our department.
We
So
should probably put the van in under the elections department. That's really why we got it, but we thought it'd be easier so that the fair could use it or others would have access to it. But truly, it could go. Or maybe even under Public Works.
So that was the options that were given to us by Public Works was that we can either A, pay out everything from our office for everything, mileage and maintenance and insurance, which is that 33,000 and some change that we would owe them. The next option is that Public Works can continue billing other departments for usage of the vehicle, but then the commissioner's office would still be responsible for paying that difference. And unfortunately, I don't have a number for that yet because we have not asked Shiloh to look into that since we didn't have direction from the commissioners, and that's a good bit of work to figure that out. And then the third option would be just returning the 2 vehicles that we don't use very often back to Public Works, and then we would only be paying for the mail rooms vehicle. And the other thing that goes with that is that if we do end up having to pay that chunk to Public Works, we will be over budget, so we would need to do a budget extension.
I'm just trying to figure out why we would pay that kind of money for a vehicle that we don't even use.
This was the ER&R billing schedule that was approved last year.
I think some people are just pulling out at some offices and departments will be pulling out ER&R because they discovered that there was a shortfall they weren't billing enough. So they're trying to catch up on the shortfall. So but like Renew does not run through them. New Hope might, but we might want to just take the cars out of ER&R
Send you for 3 vehicles for a year.
and that's every year because they don't have the mileage. They should be getting, I don't know, 60. I think it definitely is more expensive to use a county vehicles than, like for personal reimbursement, It's almost like you were forced to ask everybody to use their personal vehicle.
Right now, policy states we can't use our personal vehicle without approval by the elected official or department head. We're directed to use county.
You mean for county purposes?
Yes.
We're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place.
I think we can pull them out of, either put them back, let Public Works have them. They'll probably still charge us that, but then they would be,
From what I gather, if we return those 2 vehicles to Public Works, we would just be paying for the usage of the vehicles up to this point. That was what I got from, what I believe I understood from Shiloh's email, was that we would not be owing at least 20,000 of that. I would think would not be billed to
or we
us.
just pull them out of ER&R.
Then if it's out of ER&R, are we gonna be responsible of the maintenance, Caitlin and I, of the vehicles?
Like taking it in or billing for
I
mileage,
don't
because
know. I
that's
mean,
not
this is
something
just
that
a
we know how to
discussion.
do.
It could fall under maintenance. I don't know.
Well, I mean, if.
Because typically our office
They're public
doesn't
works
do maintenance.
vehicles, they maintain them, so they should charge us by the mile.
Yeah, I think it's just because we had a shortfall. We had some large equipment pieces that were bought a few years ago. Because of the landfill, we overspent that account, so it was, and we have some accidents that happen. And sometimes they're a little bit of mileage that's left over. I mean, it's not a moneymaker, it just kind of maintains, so this will maintain the insurance, because you still have to pay insurance for the vehicles. But now the $11,000 per vehicle is pretty steep, so we could pull them out of ER&R. And it was just.
You guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
ER&R also includes the replacement cost of the vehicle. That's why it's so much more than just maintaining the vehicle.
So when it wears out, they go buy another one for us. And then-
Exactly.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes more sense.
Which is what they're gonna be doing with 619, because the board authorized the new RAV4
Okay.
for use for the whole county, which now we're paying for. We will pay if you continue with the approval that you did for that.
But yes,
replacement.
and the 60 or whatever it says, I don't know, whatever you get. But it should be the same thing as using your own vehicle. That should pay for the wear and tear of your vehicle. So,
Yeah, just wouldn't pay for the replacement cost of it. Makes sense now that if they're replacing the vehicle. But now.
but if you don't replace it for 6 years and you've got 66,000 built in like to the van on top of the other, yeah, I don't know.
Pay for a new van.
I think it was 53,000. Plus your replacement cost, you know, the trade-in value of ours. So it's not budgeted. Mailroom before, we've had an older vehicle that it was out of ER&R because they just go from here to the mailroom, I mean, to the post office. So we really didn't need a car from ER&R. We usually grab an older car that's like one of our old. So I didn't know that it turned into an ER&R vehicle. Sometimes you grab them from youth services, whoever has it.
They should just have a cart that they go down to the post office with and walk and grab their stuff and walk back.
But that car really doesn't have to be, because we do maybe 5 miles a day or less. So an older car is usually okay. Rob, what are your thoughts?
Say like I did, I just borrowed one from there, so we can always just not.
It's really hard to hear you guys.
You're not the first one to say. I had my mic lowered.
I was gonna say.
You guys are speaking quietly and kind of sitting back, so maybe it'd be a scoot forward and.
Can you hear me better now?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
There you go.
Hey, Kevin, just stand up.
it's an advertising it.
Okay, apparently we don't have a decision on that one. So moving along. I'm a little perplexed because I get an email from our prosecuting attorneys that we asked them to be, you would have, oh, no, maybe you didn't receive it, that we asked them to be part of the panel. And a decision was made outside of the VOCC. From Gina, I'm just reading. That we asked them to be a part of the panel, somebody from the prosecutor's office, and now they are no longer able to be. We'll save this for probably HR. So Decorah mentioned that it probably would not be a good idea to have a panel. But I think that decision probably should have been made by the BOCC.
I don't understand that. She was in support of us having a panel. That's why they did the reaching out to people.
I'm gonna forward you the email that I received.
Well, now apparently the prosecutor's office is saying that we probably shouldn't do that.
Oh. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna just forward you this, but we have with our other appointees, elected officials, we've had a team and we've gone into executive session to discuss it. So more to come tomorrow. I just forwarded that to you, Rob, Rob and Kevin, so you kind of know what's I guess there's some things happening in the background that we were not aware of. Decisions were made that we were not aware of.
All right.
So you can read that. We can discuss in our HR update tomorrow. So ER&R, I guess we'll talk, get a few more details from Public Works to see if we can just give them back to Public Works. They'll charge us $5 a mile. Or they'll get rid of them.
They put the broke down cars on ER&R.
No. Well, usually once we get rid of them, we take them off of ER&R and then other, like the fairgrounds maintenance.
Yeah, they buy them.
And then they just kind of, they're on their own for repairing.
Yeah.
And usually if you have a newer car, you don't have issues, you know, it's under warranty still. Take it down to get an oil change. So, Public Works. I'll put it down, make a little note so we can talk to Public Works about ER&R, see if they would take the cars back.
It is on their agenda for tomorrow.
And then the renew office lease. Dale said we could do, he sent us an email, he would do a 5-year lease, $40 a square foot. We would be responsible for paying for the
If we didn't extend the 5-year lease to 10, we would owe Corbin more than $40 a square foot.
But Dell said he has money in his budget for remodeling for 2025. It would not be a problem to go 5 years.
No. Yeah, I don't have necessarily an issue with it. It is difficult because we look at it from your business side. Obviously, you would never do that, but we're not necessarily operating a business. And it's ready to go, and it'll be built to what they need now versus later.
Well, things change too over the years. We have a lot of funding.
Yeah.
We may lose part of that funding, so it'd be terrible to have a 10-year lease and we don't have employees to put in there.
I agree. I don't like the 10-year.
Okay, so probably 5 years on that. Sounds like it's workable. Anything else?
Is that
Say that again, Rob?
is that rate within the market rent?
The lease rate, I believe it is, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And they agreed to do a 5-year extension. And if we didn't do the extension, then we'd owe them the $40 a square foot back. But they're gonna go ahead and do it.
Okay.
That's where
Okay.
Is there anything else, Rob?
No, nothing for me.
Okay.
Okay, well, it's 2:07. Anything else, Barb? 2:07, we are in recess until tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m.